Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? This is Richard Ogachi. Remember, this is the Global Nurse Impact Platform. My YouTube channel, Richard Ogachi Areba. I'm asking that you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Thank you so much. And God is ultimate. What a joy to be alive. What a blessing to love God. What a beautiful day it is. This is a good night. It's gonna be a good night. God bless you guys. And how is your program working out? Go everywhere and do everything. Remember, so this is Richard Ogachi. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And we've been talking about the differences between the US and developing countries. And in this particular case, the analogy is using Kenya, because that's where I was born. My mother Kenya. Good country, good people. So one of the major issues that I've been like thinking about and like asking myself a lot of questions is, why is it that there's so many, like the issue of divorce is so rampant in the US? You know, when you talk about divorce, it means it's husband and the wife who think that they don't deserve each other anymore, because you've learned that the person that you said you did want to live with for the rest of your life doesn't have the attributes or the characteristics that you are looking for when you're looking for a marriage partner, if I may define it that way. So in the US, what I've noticed with concern, and by the way, when you get together as husband and wife, man and woman, what is apparent is that you want to make each other's life better. You want to share life together. You want to share experiences, and you want to give this person a chance to make you the best person and the best version of you. But on the way, you lose track. And mostly, I think the biggest cause of divorce is disconnection. That you don't find your partner interesting enough anymore. What I call the proverbial statement, familiarity breeds contempt. And you give up. You think that there is a better deal out there, that you made the wrong choice, that you have another chance and maybe meet the person who you are meant to be with for the rest of your life. But what is even more interesting, even with the many cases of divorce in the US, when you look at the numbers, of course, I'm not victimizing, it's what it is. When you look at the numbers of divorce, it's more than 50% of the marriages ending. We all understand that our marriages will end at one point. It will end in divorce or in death. And my prayer is for my marriage to end in death. So most of the marriages, more than 50% in the US, end in divorce. Why? I don't know. I don't know if it's influence, because when you look at, maybe, you know, there are legitimate reasons why you should not be together. Like if you are with somebody who is abusing you, if your partner is somebody who is like there's north and south differences. But then who is to blame? I don't know who is to blame, really. I don't know. Because when you lose track and you stop working on your marriage or your relationship with your spouse, then divorce is imminent. Then divorce has to happen. When you lose plot, you initially had a plot. Like, okay, you know, we will do this, we will go here. And then, like, for my case, I have convinced my wife, the best of the best, the beautiful woman that she is, the most smart woman. That woman is so smart that sometimes, by the way, I see colleagues at work. Sometimes me and my wife and I, we work mostly in the same facilities in the most part for the previous couple of years. I see some women or some people at the place of work, because she doesn't say she's smart anyway, but I know she is, and some people know, especially the ones who went to school with her. She's smart. She's like bright. I honestly like talk about it every day with her. She has IQ of more than 150. I don't have a doubt. She's super smart. And some people at work, they ignore her. Not even ignoring, really. They don't know her. So they think she's stupid. When you meet somebody, you always underrate them, because you think, okay, I don't know them, but you really an awareness. You don't know who they are. You don't know their abilities. But she's so smart. And I convinced her that we are going to move to a different country. So we had a plan. We said, let's sit down, let's agree, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. So we have done that in the most part. And then imagine when it gets to a point where I now don't believe in her anymore. Maybe now she may think that maybe she's at the different stages of her life. She may think, okay, maybe this guy was a bad idea, you know. At some point in life, you never know what happens to you. But what exactly will make, like me, the immigrating to the US is upward mobility for my family. I'm looking to put my family on a position of advantage. Like we get to tap into opportunities to live our life better. And I have a definition for that. When I look at the kind of life that I lived when I was young in my family, I think that I have more potential. I can do better. I can live a different kind of life. I can live a better life, you know? Now, with all that said, then I convinced my wife, we do this, we're going here, we're trying this, let's get this kind of money, let's live and mentor our kids in this way, in that way. And then in the end, we get to a point where, okay, maybe this was not meant for me. This guy I was meant that somebody else is somewhere for me who I didn't find at first. Disconnection is real. In the US, it's very easy to disconnect. There are conflicting activities and ideas. It's very easy to lose plot because of the resources, because of abundance, because of money. Because like most of the families that immigrate, especially like from Africa, women are treated differently, and the way the US women are treated is also different, you know. And then when the women, or when we get to the US like now, then we get into a tag of war, maybe. You know, I've seen other people like compete with each other, who is going to work how many hours, especially when you're not pulling resources together. Then it means one person is working more than the other, and maybe the other one, they're not sharing the resources. Then it means they'll have to fight who works, especially when you have kids. Who is going to work what time, how many hours a week, who is making more, who is going to buy what, who is going to pay what bills. There is too much conflict in families that if you're not able, when you're not able to handle, it's gonna cause you a lot of disconnection as a couple. So what exactly causes so many like rampant cases of divorce in the US? People have chosen different kind of lives. They don't want maybe marriage anymore. They don't want kids anymore, man. You know, when you live in the best country in the world, come on, you should have some kids, you know. I don't say that's for everybody, you know. Some people can make really not good, very good parents. And who makes a good parent anyway? You only raise kids and you show them the way. Sometimes the ones who've been shown the best and who've been taken care of, they still go astray. But what a joy to have a family. What a joy to have a wife. What a joy to have kids, you know. When I first, we had our first girl, man, I've never had a good feeling than that. I used to hold the kid like this and then say, my goodness, you want this beautiful thing. This beautiful thing, if we don't feed it, it will die. My goodness. Like this beautiful thing's crying. And we have to make sure they don't cry. They are giving us sleepless nights, my goodness. But still, when you look at her now, she's 10 years old. We have very good conversations. You're like, this is it. I don't want anything else. This is what I wanted in life. What a joy. And now, what a joy even when you have both parents together. The girl looks aside, she sees her dad. And then she looks left, she sees her mom. And when she sees her mom downstairs from upstairs bedroom, she sees her mom laying on the dad's chest. And then she sees joy, you know. And when she grows up again, she desires and likes that kind of life. And she wants to do it again. And then she also wants to get married and give birth to kids and make the world a better place. What a joy to belong to a family. Come on, guys. We can still handle our differences and still stick together as long as our spouses are not killing us. We were never promised easy, but we always have a chance to even become better spouses and become better human beings. Come on, guys. Thank you so much. This is Richard Ogachi, registered nurse, sharing life experiences. And I believe that it's been interesting. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.